Okay, let's take a look at the stock market, the S&P 500. These are the futures. We're going to look at the weekly chart here. We'll look at the daily chart. We'll look at the trade of the day. And we're even going to look at a trade that I made, and I'll talk about how I use my own indicator and my own service, for that matter, to place a trade. And we'll see how the trade went, okay? All right, so let's start here with the weekly chart. We can see that, for the last 3 out of 4 weeks here, it's been bumping up against this resistance at 45.09. You can see it right here. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, it bumped up against it. Last week it did. Right now it's, this has kind of been a short week with the July 4th Independence Day. But nevertheless, you just see this going on, right? This same theme over and over, hitting up against this resistance. So I think there's going to be a big move in the market. I see the certainty rate down here has a little bit of a spike that's been going on a few times this week. And over here on the weekly, it's showing up. So I do think there's going to be a big move in the market. We're going to see which way this thing goes. July 16th, there could be a cycle low here. Based on what I'm looking at in these charts, it looks like there's a potential for, at least some downside here into July 16th. We're going to see whether or not this comes into play. Okay, or does it just, say, okay, we're taking off, we're going up. The weekly chart as a whole is kind of elevated. Got some divergence dots going up here. The SMI is up real near 76. The MACD is at 114, which is pretty high even for the weekly, but it can get higher from time to time than that as well. But so I think we have a little bit of an elevated market. We're going to see which way this thing breaks. Okay, let's take a look at the daily. So here it is on the daily chart. Today was, really small range day, only 27.5, for the first day coming back from July 4th holiday here in the United States. And we get this small range day. It's a down day. And we can see that, just looking at the Stochastic Momentum Index, it's kind of elevated here, but not a lot. 69 is, not too high. And the MACD sitting up here around, let's say around 61, which is not too high either. So I think, there could be more room to the upside, but hard to ignore that July 16th cycle low showing up on the weekly chart. So keep that in mind. Here's the spike I was talking about. Back here in June, we had this pretty big spike here. And we just had this spike here the last couple days, pretty significant spike in the certainty rate. So that's what makes me think there's going to be a fairly big move in the market. And I think it's coming pretty soon. All right, let's talk about a trade that I made. This was me using my own service and my own Get Us Plus indicator, which the members also get. Okay, I happen to be looking at a different product, but this applies to the S&P 500 for the members. They get the live charts, the 5-minute, the 15-minute, and the 1 hour, and I'll show one of those here in a moment what the members see. But I was trading a different product here, but using the same exact techniques. Okay, and you can see it made $593.75. Really, really nice. This happens to be an hourly chart that I was trading. I'm always looking at multiple time frames, and I highly suggest that you do that, especially to the members as you're watching this video. Always look at all the different time frames, the daily, the hourly, the 15-minute, and the 5-minute. Really, really important to keep track of those multiple time frames. So as I was making this trade on this different product here, the Euro FX futures, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm looking at different time frames. Obviously, I'm using cycle analysis, right? I'm using cycle analysis here on this product. You can also see I have the Get Us Plus indicator set up for this particular product as well. Okay, so even here, it looked like the indicator is telling me there's a possible trade. And sure enough, the SMI started to roll over. The MACD was still pretty wide going up, so a little bit of a risk there to go short. But I kind of waited on this a little bit. It bounced a little bit more, and then I took the trade. All right, and there you go, nearly $600. Okay, just real quick, another trade I made on the same product. This is a $375 trade that I made. Nice little trade. You can see right here the Get Us Plus indicator gave me an alert here Tuesday, because this futures product was trading even though the holiday was going on. And this one was a little bit more difficult than the last one to trade. I had to kind of wait on this. It got up here, started to roll over. The MACD was going into negative territory below this purple line. So I had to be a little bit more diligent and be careful about this, but eventually it made good, you know, and it bottomed out over here on this cycle low, which I was keeping track of that. And I think I made some profit right in this area where I was decided to wait for it to do the bounce, and I took some profit right in here. Really, really nice. All right, so here we are on the trade of the day. This is the S&P 500, the 1 hour chart, and this is where the trade of the day took place. And it was right here. It actually happened at 4 o'clock in the morning. Here was the Giddus Plus indicator saying that there's a possible trade coming up. All right. You can see that the stochastic momentum index here was really low. But you can't just place a trade just as soon as the alert comes up or the indicator comes up. Which, by the way, this chart is streamed live to members. So is the 15-minute and the 5-minute. And not only do they get the alerts here on the streaming charts, it also gets sent over to the Discord server, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. That's where all the services take place for the members, is on the Discord server. But this one took a little while to develop, maybe like, I don't know, it was about 2-3 hours later. And as soon as it rolled over, there you go. There's your trade. You know, and that was a good 40, 70, probably a little lower than that. Let's say 40, 70, 40, 90. That was probably, that's a little more than 20 points on the futures. On the spider, it's probably like, I guess, $2. And you could probably pick up about 15 of those points, maybe, with some accurate trading. Now, in a range today where we noticed, what we saw earlier was 27. Imagine picking up 15 or 20 of that 27. I mean, you're picking up a huge percentage of the range of the day right here on this trade, right? Really nice. So there's some other ones on the 5-minute, 15-minute, but this is the one that really stood out the most. This is pre-market, early morning stuff, 4 a.m. If you're going to make bank and trading, you know, sometimes you got to be up early to do it. All right, here we are on the Discord server. This is the Giddus server, and you'll find the link to this server in the first comment in the YouTube video pinned to the top. So if you want to become a member, you can click on that. I'll talk about that here in a second. But here's the S&P 500 alerts that come in from the Giddus Plus alert that happens on the streaming charts. And here's that the 4 a.m. alert that came in. There it is, 4 o'clock in the morning, 1 hour alert. So, you know, members might have a mobile device, and they have the Discord app loaded on their mobile device. Some of them have desktops, laptops, whatever they have. Okay, they're just coming to the Discord server. They're right-clicking on this. They're clicking notifications. They're clicking probably get all messages. And they get alerted on the Discord server. So even if they're not watching the streaming charts that are available because they're busy doing their day job or whatever they're doing, they can still get alerted if they want to. Okay. And we have the same thing for gold. For those who I trade gold occasionally and crude oil, so it's the same thing. Alerts go into there. Stock alerts. This is top 30 stocks for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. Okay, pretty busy channel, but there's some good symbols in there. Daily only alerts for those who want to do more like swing trades and you can't do intraday stuff. Then occasionally we'll get alerts here for daily alerts instead of intraday alerts. Okay. And then premium symbols, I'll talk about that here in a moment. All right, just want to talk to the members here for a second. If you're welcome new members, a lot of new members have come on board. That's great. Welcome new members. A couple things. Please read the rules when you come onto the server as a member. It's important. There's a refund policy in there. There is, behavior. When you're on the server, you got to behave. Okay, and there's a disclaimer in there as well. So make sure you read the rules. Also, for members, make sure you put your email address in the emails only channel, because every night I send out emails on the S&P 500. I attach a chart to the email, and I mock it up and give my opinion about what I think the market's going to do. So really important, make sure you put your email address in there if you want to be on the nightly emails. Okay, if you like everything you're seeing in this video so far, then make sure you click on the link that's going to be the first comment in the top of the YouTube video comment section. It'll be pinned to the top. It's going to bring you to the server, get a server. Okay, then you click on server subscriptions. That's going to bring you over to this webpage right here, $7.99, guys and gals. Now, you saw how I made $800 on one trade. I think I made $350 or something on another trade. I mean, I have an account size that's large enough to handle some pretty large trades. But even if your account size is 1/10 the size of mine, just think about it. With enough patience and learning how to use the service, you could have made $80 or maybe $35. That pays for what? Almost a full year's worth of membership just on 1 or 2 trades. So I keep this inexpensive because inflation is crazy right now. I don't want members worrying about how they're going to pay for the membership. I want them to be concentrated on and focusing on trading and making bank. Yeah. So take advantage of the membership while you can, because it's super good value. I've seen some memberships out there that are hundreds of dollars, and they're, to be honest with you, they're garbage. Okay, this is all the services that take place on the Discord server. Now, I've talked about a lot of this already, but you can pause the video right here and read it. Talk about the streaming charts. Okay, 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour. The S&P 500 alerts, 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, and the daily goes in here. The S&P 500 channel for that. The alerts I talked about, the top 30 stocks, S&P 500 and NASDAQ, same thing, 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, and the dailies, those get alerted in here. Okay. The premium symbols, now the same Geddes Plus logic that you see on the charts, that indicator, that same logic goes out the end of each day and gets the symbols for futures. It gets the symbols for stocks that are optionable. It gets industries or sectors and subsectors. This would be for, for those who want to keep track of what big funds are doing, rotating their money in and out of sectors and subsectors, right? And then if there's any symbols that look like they're shortable, they look like they're being set up for a short, then there'll be a file in there for shorts too. These are all files. So members take advantage of that. I tend to trade a lot of futures. I know some of my members trade options. That's great. Make sure you take advantage of these files, because you'll be surprised how many good trades come out of those files. Of course, I talked about the nightly emails already. Okay, the YouTube videos go to everybody, both the public and the private. Okay, everybody, I hope you really enjoyed the video. Happy trading, everybody. We'll talk to you all real soon again next time.